Ben, you've been attending this tournament in Melbourne for almost 20 years, and I'm just wondering how you feel about the place's development and the seconds of this tournament. 0:11:11. There has been much discussion about how they always break attendance records, but there have also been complaints about how congested it is. It takes 0:19:19 seconds to enter the courts, and several aspects of this competition have become overly corporate or commercial. As a veteran of this, I would want to know what you think. 0:27:27 seconds. What if I told you that a young player on a small court produced the loudest moment at the Australian Open instead of a championship point? One statement from Novak Djokovic in 0:35:35 seconds has permanently altered how the tennis community views Alexandra Eala. Since in a single the greatest player of our time made a statement at a news conference that stopped reporters cold at 0:42:42 seconds. 0:49:49 seconds. Having an excessive number of spectators at this or any other tennis tournament is a great issue. Well, I believe their significantly 0:59:59 seconds are terrible. Every tournament, in my opinion, aims to set records for both attendance and ticket sales, and that is what I've been hearing this year and over the past few years is 1:0:81 8 seconds. Novak Djokovic has saw it all at stadiums, deserted courts, rising stars, and fallen legends in 1:1:41 and 14 seconds. He has spent more than 2 decades performing in Melbourne. Thus, when Novak discusses tennis's future, people listen for 1:2:61 26 seconds. 1:2:71 27 seconds. Obviously, I'm not sure if there is a chance to develop the facilities further or not. I am not 1:3:61 36 seconds. I'm obviously familiar with that dynamic, but I enjoy what I've observed as this tournament's progress took 1:4:61 and 46 seconds. I like how it all began with a seemingly innocuous query. A reporter inquired 1:5:31 53 seconds. Novak discusses the Australian Open's development, the crowds, the commercialization, and the mayhem. I recall that we were utilizing Gym B as the cry came from across the street at 2:0:22 and 2 seconds. Well, I can't remember the name of that AFL team. Essen, perhaps. 2:1:22 12 seconds. Apologies. Collingwood. Wood is being called. I apologize. 2:1:52 15 seconds. I apologize. I am aware of the intense rivalry. I'm sorry. They were lying about using the Australian Open, you know. Their facilities took 2:2:32 and 23 seconds. Djokovic also didn't voice any complaints. He did not sidestep the query. Rather, he sent a sobering reminder. Novak TO stadiums that are filled aren't a crisis at 2:3:22 and 32 seconds. They are evidence that tennis is still relevant today. Then Novak took an unexpected action. He took everyone is transported back to 2003 in 2:3:92 and 39 seconds. No high-tech healing rooms, no glass structures, 4:62 46 seconds, merely a football team's common gym across the street. Let's fast forward to today. Indoor courts, ice 2:5:42 54-second baths, recovery science, and royal quality player meals. The Australian Open burst instead of evolving. Next, the conversation changed at 3:0:23 and 2 seconds. Novak brought up Alexandra Eala, a teenager from the Philippines. A nation with more than 110 million of fans are waiting for a tennis icon in 3:1:13 and 11 seconds. 3:1:63 16 seconds. It truly comes down to how you control the number of people entering the room and how you establish balance. 3:2:53 and 25 seconds on the property. And you know, if I saw Alexa the other day, you know, I 3:3:33 33 seconds. Yes, that has been discussed, which makes sense given that her match was supposed to take place on a smaller court. The crowd that followed wasn't typical. There was a fan eruption around 3:4:23 and 42 seconds. Thousands of people attempted to enter. Security had trouble. The system broke. And after that, at 3:5:03 and 50 seconds, Novak uttered the words that altered everything. Not marketing, not hype. The greatest player of all time validated it in 3:5:53 and 55 seconds. Novak was discussing more than just tennis prowess. He was discussing 4:0:24 2 seconds, impact, representation, pressure, and the entire nation observing each swing. This isn't just the tale of Alexandra Eala. It's tennis. A new era begins at 4:1:14 11 seconds. New nations, new fan bases, new mayhem. Djokovic produced O'Night's evident at 4:194 minutes and 19 seconds. The true threat is empty stadiums. Not pandemonium, not noise, not emotion. This is the actual question. 4:294 minutes, 29 seconds. Which would you prefer? Fighting through the crowd to see history or relaxing in a peaceful arena? For 364 minutes, 36 seconds. To be honest, it's a good problem to have. You know, let's just picture what would happen if there weren't enough people arriving. The fact that 4:454 minutes and 45 seconds are vacant indicates a more serious issue. I mean, in front of record-breaking crowds, Melbourne Park came alive beneath the Australian Open lights this year at 4:474 minutes and 47 seconds, and just 4:534 minutes and 53 seconds. Corporate branding and constant worldwide attention came together to create a moment that would change the way people talk about contemporary tennis. 5:015 minutes, 1 second, because Novak Djokovic's statements have significantly more weight than a standard news conference when he speaks in this tournament after more than 20 years. Answer: 5:105 minutes, 10 seconds. And what started off as a straightforward query about weather, commerce, and crowding. 5:165 minutes, 16 seconds. In the midst of the tournament's rapid expansion, something was lost that swiftly became a potent reflection on the direction the sport is taking and who could its future is defined in 5:235 minutes and 23 seconds. With Djokovic coolly declaring that having too many supporters is actually a great thing rather than a crisis. 5:305 minutes, 30 seconds is a problem. An assertion based on personal experience from a person who recalls a totally different Australian Open. One in which early in the new millennium, players practiced in a football club gym across the street for 5:395 minutes and 39 seconds, sharing ice baths and little supplies. 5:475 minutes and 47 seconds in front of the National Tennis Centre modern indoor courts, top-notch recuperation labs, and opulent player amenities were all available in 5:495 minutes and 49 seconds. Regarding Djokovic, 5:555 minutes, 55 seconds. This enormous change is a sign that tennis is winning the global attention war, not an indication of a loss of spirit. However, that success also brings with it pressure, chaos, and the system can't keep up with the passion it has generated for 6:046 minutes and 4 seconds, precisely 6:086 minutes, 8 seconds. The conversation abruptly ended at 6:126 minutes and 12 seconds. Djokovic made an unexpected turn when he brought up Alexandra Eala, a teenage player whose attendance at this year's championship caused scenes that few could have foreseen. Eala is more than simply another up-and-coming artist. 6:236 minutes, 23 seconds, but a representation of the Philippines, a nation of over 100 million people that has never before. 6:306 minutes, 30 seconds seen a tennis player garner this much attention on a global scale. Additionally, the outcome of her early round match being moved to a lesser court was 6:396 minutes, 39 seconds of fan frenzy that jammed sidewalks, overcrowded doors, and provoked discussion over crowd and scheduling. 6:466 minutes, 46 seconds handling, leading Djokovic to candidly concede that things may have been handled more skillfully and that putting a guy with such enormous 6:546 minutes, 54 seconds there was a logistical danger with national support on a small court. However, he reframed the episode as proof of something far more significant than a failure. 2 seconds more crucial at 7:027 minutes. The clear evidence that tennis is spreading to new areas and inspiring enthusiasm where at 10 seconds barely existed at 7:107 minutes. Additionally, Djokovic believes that the silence of empty stands is considerably more hazardous than the annoyance of spectators who are unable to enter. Due to the 7:197 minutes, 19 seconds apathy, not excessive zeal, is the true danger to every sport. Eala's matches are emotionally charged. A new generation and a new audience are claiming tennis at 7:267 minutes, 26 seconds, flags, chants, and overwhelming attention. Positioning at 7:357 minutes and 35 seconds, a teenage athlete is under tremendous pressure to either fall short of expectations or make history. Which 7:427 minutes, 42 seconds is the reason behind Djokovic's straightforward but impactful statement that she is a superstar. 7:477 minutes, 47 seconds resonated well beyond the press room because it was affirmation from the most successful athlete in sports history rather than commercial hype or casual compliments. 7:557 minutes and 55 seconds were observed. An understanding that Eala's power goes beyond rankings and outcomes to include cultural influence. Additionally, when Djokovic talks about development, 8:058 minutes, 5 seconds balance, and the need to control crowds without dampening enthusiasm, he's also subtly challenging 8:128 minutes, 12 seconds. The tennis establishment, broadcasters, and organizers warned that the sport is about to enter an era where new stars from non-traditional tennis nations will compel established structures to change. 8:248 minutes, 24 seconds, and as the Australian Open continues to grow from its humble beginnings into a worldwide spectacle, Alexandra Eala 8:318 minutes, 31 seconds is a clear indication that tennis is being changed in real time by up-and-coming heroes rather than being exclusively defined by its conventional power centers. 8:408 minutes, 40 seconds. And unparalleled fan enthusiasm paving the way for a time when it won't be necessary to wonder if tennis is developing as well. 8:488 minutes, 48 seconds. But whether the sport is prepared for the demand it has generated around the world. This situation is indeed unprecedented because 8:558 minutes, 55 seconds. Not just the amount of attention that surrounded Alexandra Eala, but also how quickly it came. Due to the fact that tennis is a sport that typically presents its stars gradually through years of rankings, 9:069 minutes, 6 seconds of slow-burning stories and quiet breakthroughs. However, Eala's situation saw an almost immediate increase in attention. 9:129 minutes, 12 seconds driven by social media momentum, national pride, and a support base that views her as more than just an athlete, representation on the most prominent stages in the globe for 9:209 minutes and 20 seconds. And her abrupt ascent puts her in the middle of a bigger 9:279 minutes, 27 seconds in professional tennis, where broadcast priorities, court assignments, and traditional scheduling patterns are still mostly based on 9:359 minutes, 35 seconds established names from historically powerful nations, causing conflict when a new person gains significant international attention before the system is 9:439 minutes and 43 seconds were set aside to make room for it. Djokovic does not speak as an outsider, which is why his comments are so important. Critiquing from a 9:529 minutes and 52 seconds, yet having experienced every stage of tennis fame, 9:569 minutes, 56 seconds from quiet practice courts to oppressive media attention, from preoccupation to anonymity. Additionally, when he discusses the strain of celebrity becoming into a sort of a 10:0410 minutes and 4 seconds, he is thinking back on his own experiences rather than speculating. 10:0810 minutes, 8 seconds, gently recognizing that,